What's up, YouTube? It's Dada and I'm back with another video. As you can tell by that title, you already know what it is. I did a poll on Instagram. I asked y'all, I said, did y'all want me to do a video where I was talking about how you can establish credit? Did y'all want me to do a video where it talked about how to get rid of debt? Or did y'all want me to do a video where I explained how to increase your credit? The numbers were all over the place. The biggest one was, I think, increase credit. But I'm thinking that it would just honestly be better for me to do it in order. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, and I'm probably create like a small little series out of this. If y'all know, I am a personal banker. I'm not going to disclose, where. I mean, for those that know, they know. But I'm not going to disclose on here where. But I do have some tips and some tricks for you guys. Things that I have learned while I've been in the position that I've been in. Things that I've been able to see firsthand with assisting people with, getting different loans, lines, credits, and everything like that. And I am not giving my opinion off of the account of the company. I am giving what I've been through and things like that. I'm giving the knowledge that I have. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to talk about how to establish credit. This is for my teenagers fresh out of high school or in freshman year of college, and this is going to be from the ages 18 on up to probably just about to 25, because some people really got a late start. So if you're 18 years old, you're catching the ball early if you're even watching this video. If you're 25, there's no shame in your game to you getting a late start. We're going to blame it on the parents. We're going to blame it on the parents. But I am here to inform y'all on exactly what y'all need to do. There's a couple easy, simple tricks and tasks that I'm going to get you to do, and you're going to see a major difference, okay? So, my first tip for people that have zilch, no credit, zero, nada, bam, boom, no type of credit at all. My first suggestion is going to be to get a secured credit card. A secured credit card is basically where you utilize money of your own as collateral with someone. So let's just say you go to your bank. I'm going to name a random bank like my bank, Self-Help, they do them. You get a secured credit card. The secured credit card is funded off of your own money. So let's just say you decide to put $500 into the secured credit card. So you're basically borrowing your own money. So you put $500 into the credit card. With credit cards, you're not supposed to go over 30% utilization. My kind of tip is not even to go over 10%, because you give yourself some boundaries to move. So let's just say you don't want to go over 10% utilization. On that credit card that you funded with your own money, you would only use 10% of that, which would be $50 a month. So you would not go over using $50 a month on that credit card. Excuse me. What that is telling creditors is that I'm responsible with money that's mine. So in order for you to establish that relationship with a creditor where they trust you to say, I know I can trust you with money of ours, you have to establish the relationship first with saying, okay, you're pretty responsible with your own money, so now we can trust you with ours. So typically how it goes is, once you've had a secured credit card for maybe about a year, and they can get your patterns and how you pay things on time and different things like that, then they'll give you a credit limit of their own. 9 times out of 10, that's how it goes. And they'll say, hey, we'll give you an $1,000 credit limit. You did $500, we'll match. I'll give you $1,000 credit limit off of money that's ours. And bam, that's how you begin. There's also a secured, at my bank, they call it the credit builder loan. with the credit builder loan, you do, they give you, like, you pick a number. So you'll say like, oh, I want to do 1,000. So you cannot touch the money until you pay the whole loan back. So let's just say they give you $1,000. You'll make a monthly payment and won't be able to touch the funds at all. So typically with a normal loan, you get the money and then you pay back every month. With this particular loan, it's a secured loan. You pay back the loan and then you get the money at the end of your installment payments. That is one of those lines that you don't want to close early. Some things will hinder you if you close them early, and that's one of them. If you're wanting to build your credit, it defeats the purpose for you to close a line like that early, okay? That's my first tip, is to get something secured, something that has your own money in it as collateral. That's my first tip, okay? What I'm going to give you now is what is credit, the definition of credit, okay? Credit is your ability to obtain the goods or services you want now, right here in this present time, is tangible, by promising to pay for them later. So you get the benefit, you reap the benefits without the responsibility until after. And it's basically your ability to obtain credit is based on your credit history. Credit is all about credit history. I could end the video right here, literally, because somebody that doesn't have any credit, you're gonna want to start with something secured, something where it is your own money, because whatever company you go through, they have to see that you're not gonna mess them over. Basically, they have to make sure that they're not getting screwed. Basically, excuse my terminology, but they have to make sure that they're not getting ran over on before they ever invest. We invest in the liquor house when we have nothing to go off on whether or not they're gonna give us our money back, if they're gonna pay on time. You get what I'm saying? So you have to make yourself look polished to whatever company you're wanting. And once you begin to build a relationship with them, bingo, doors are going to start swinging open, okay? So another option, I know, and this is from personal experience, Discover. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I would love to, but I'm not sponsored by them. But I preach about Discover. Discover is amazing because when I was 18 years old, me and Malaysia, I was listening to Malaysia Hind Part. I didn't know nothing about credit, didn't know a lick about nothing when it came to that type of stuff. All I knew is that I wanted to start building credit. And I'm listening to Malaysia, and Malaysia don't know what she talking about. We already done had this discussion, so it ain't like I'm talking about them. But I'm listening to Malaysia. Neither one of us knew what we was doing. I'm listening to her on her telling me how to utilize it. As soon as I got the car, before even 6 months passed, I maxed the credit card out. I'm still suffering from the consequences of that today because of me not being knowledgeable. So I do want to implant these knowledge tips to y'all because it can be prevented. All of that can be prevented. Like, I'm in minor debt right now because of a decision I made when I was 18 years old. But back to Discover. Discover is really amazing. They have student cards. They almost don't even look at what type of credit you have because they know you're trying to establish. Discover is one of those really good companies that is meant for people that are trying to establish credit. Capital One, Chase, American Express, don't even waste your time with them if you're trying to establish credit. Those creditors are for people that have credit, have established credit, and they popping. Discover is going to be where it's at for the people that have no credit. Hear me and hear me well. Those are the people that are going to help you. I was 18 years old. I applied for the student credit card. They gave me an $1,000 credit limit off rip. They gave Malaysia a $500 credit limit. So with that being said, when I got the card, I knew not to utilize a certain amount. I knew not to go over $100 because I had an $1,000 credit limit. I knew I was not supposed to go over $100. So I didn't have a car back then, which they was telling me, use it for gas, groceries, or if you go to like a fast food restaurant, utilize it then. Okay, I was doing that at first, but when I got in a bind, guess what I was doing? Whipping out my credit card. Over time, it just kept adding up. And at the time, I did not know that you can't just pay the minimum payment when you want good credit. When you want good credit, you pay the minimum payment plus extra, and you pay it early. You don't pay it on time. On time is late when it comes to credit. You pay it early. I'm giving y'all the drop right now. I'm giving y'all free game. When you are paying for any type of credit product, on time is late. Simple. And I'm going to give y'all a brief description. Let's say I walk into a bank right now. I've been with the bank for 10 plus years, but I've been with them since my parents added me on their account. And so technically when my stuff rolled over, when I was of age to have my own account, my tenure still remained the same, which it'll say maybe I've been with the bank for 10 years, okay? The only reason that I get approved for a credit card with my bank is because of the tenure that I've been there. They trust me. They know, they've seen my patterns over the years. I'm 18 years old, fresh out of high school, okay? Walk in the bank, blah, blah, blah. I want to apply for a credit card. Bam, I get approved for the credit card. I have about an $1,000 credit limit, not secured. Strictly the bank's money, okay? The right thing for you to do is to get that credit card. Don't go over $100. The only time you should go over 10% utilization is if you know without a shadow of a doubt, if you spend $300 that month, that you can pay it back and then some. If you don't have the money sitting in your account or sitting in your pockets, you don't need to spend it on your credit card. And that is an old rule, but it still applies and is still needed in this day and time. If you don't have the cash money to back it up, you don't need to be pulling out no credit card. Absolutely not. Because it's not your money. That's where people go wrong at. When it's secured, now that's your money. But when it's a creditor's money, it's a creditor's money. It's not your money. That's where people get misconstrued. They see the amount that they have. Oh, that's my money. That's my car. It's not your money. It's never your money, baby. It's never your money. So if you don't have the cash money sitting in your pocket to pay off the entire due balance, don't spend it. So the adult thing of me, if I get a credit card and I'm using it properly, what I'm going to do, I'm going to purchase gas on it every month. I'm going to purchase maybe some fast food. And let's just say I may go to MAC and get me some lip glosses or something. Okay, all of that totaled up to $150 for the month. Okay, I went over my 10% and I did 15% utilization. Okay, that's fine. But guess what? Before I spend a dime off of my credit card, do I have $150 in my account? Oh, okay, yes I do. Perfect. Because there is a minimum payment associated with my credit card. So with mine, when I had Discover, I had $1,000 and my minimum payment was $35 a month. If you pay and this is with most credit card people, if you pay your on time payment, you beat interest. So you don't accrue any interest on the money that you've utilized if you pay it back on time. The interest starts accruing when you start missing payments. But if you pay the full amount off, the minimum payment basically goes away. Basically, if you pay the full amount, thereof. So me being responsible, I just spent $150. When it comes time for my payment, I'm paying $150. Or if I don't have $150, if I had it at one point, but now at this point in the month, I kind of ran into a bind and all I have is $100. Well, whatever 35 plus, I only have $100, so $100, that means $65. So I'm paying my minimum payment of $35, plus I'm gonna add $65 to it just to have a little extra. And what creditors are seeing when you do that, she's paying before her due date. She's paying more than what she owes us. So she's serious. And not only is your credit score going up, but you're also developing an amazing relationship with who you borrowed the money from. You're able to, and typically, once you've built that relationship early on, you can just about get anything out of that creditor once they know you're reliable. I had such a good relationship with Discover once I knew what to do, once I knew what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Once I had an understanding, once I had knowledge, I had such a good relationship with Discover that when I lost my job back in 2021, I was able to call them and say, I just lost my job. You can look back in all of my history. I've never had a late payment. I've never had a missed payment. I've always paid y'all extra. And guess what? They granted me, I forget what it's called. There's a specific terminology for it. But they granted me grace for, I think, a couple of months without having to pay due to the status that I had with them. I had a good relationship to where I could call them and look, you can pull up every time I've had a payment. You can pull up, I've paid y'all more. I've paid y'all on time, you know. And that's the relationship you want to be able to have with creditors, where you can say, look, I'm in a bind right now. I just lost my job, or I just lost my house, or whatever the case may be. And they grant you the grace to be able to get yourself together, give you some time period until you can figure things out, because they know that you're good for it. When they know, when somebody know you good for it, problem with helping you out. That's why I want y'all to get an understanding of, don't get in a habit of not paying people. Don't get in a habit of, because that's stealing, guys. That's really stealing. The Bible says, oh, no man. I mean, it's really stealing because it was never your money to begin with. So when creditors are calling you, or when, you know, you might just be in a bind, you got to learn how to talk. You remember how your mama used to get on the phone and put her YT people voice on? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You got to put your big girl panties on and you got to talk to these people, or else they're never going to want to deal with you again. I'm going to say this tip and then I'm going to be done. If you are 15 to 18 watching this video, and even for my younger adults that are in the 20 range, get your parents to add you on as an authorized user to a credit card. They have the Sam's credit cards, whatever, because your parents, more than likely, some of our parents, you know, their credit is probably null and void, and they probably wouldn't help you, would hinder you more than anything. But if you know that your parents have somewhat of a good establishment of credit, that's going to be a conversation you're going to want to have with them, because their parents never taught them that. If you're in my age bracket, our parents weren't taught credit and stuff like that, and finances and managing money. They didn't learn that until probably right around this day and time. Within maybe like the last 5 to 10 years is when they started developing an understanding of it. I know my mom didn't start developing an understanding of it until, like I said, these last 5 to 10 years right here, because no one had actually taught her. So with that being said, that's going to be a conversation you're going to want to have with your parents. Hey, what do you think about adding me on as an authorized user? I don't even have to have access to the money. Just add me on as an authorized user so that my credit is building while your credit building. I won't touch a card. You get what I'm saying? That's a conversation that I even had with my own mom. It's simple. Say, Mom, Dad, this would benefit me when I get ready to move. This will benefit me when I get ready to go purchase my own car. And it starts at that young age where, when you do turn, if you are 15, these 3 years right here, when you turn 18, you can walk out with a 750 if your parents are consistent, if your parents pay their on-time payments, if they pay more than a minimum payment. That is what's the word I'm looking for? That is residual. It's not residual. That is passive. It's passive. That's what I want to say. It's passive ways that you can get your credit up, that you don't literally have to do anything. Your parents are already, as long as they keep doing what they're already doing, it's not going to be anything added to them either. You get what I'm saying? So authorized user is key. And that doesn't even require you to do anything. All your parents have to do is say, I want to add an authorized user. You don't even have to. And if your parents don't trust you, I mean, you don't need a card no way. Let them handle that. You don't want to mess them up in the process. And yeah, so that's gonna be all for this video, y'all. I hope y'all got something out of it. I hope y'all learned something. I hope that I wasn't speaking in a foreign language to anybody. I hope I broke it down really well. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Bye.